Hey YouTube, petey twofinger. I'm going to be talking about social media. If you have a YouTube or a Facebook, and like with me, I'll tell you my story. There was a guy who really wanted me to get a Facebook account. I had a MySpace, and my MySpace was all Atlanta Leprechaun stuff. So I didn't really give that out. I had spent some time on it. I put it together very thoroughly, and it was all Atlanta Leprechaun. And it was really funny. But it was also could kind of be construed as a racist joke. So that was a private thing. I only gave it out to a few friends and family. And this was a band that I was in where this guy had approached me, and him and another guy had something and they wanted me to come in as a guitar player. So I went and took some photographs with them. They gave me some music, and that was as far as it went. They wanted to get a photo with three guys and put it on this thing on MySpace so that it looked like a band, when it was just some guy with Fruity Loops. And so somewhere out there, there's this page with pictures of me. I got suckered into this. Anyway, that guy was, when are you going to get MySpace? Or when are you going to get Facebook? You got to get Facebook. You got to get Facebook. And I had heard about it. And like, I went online in 96. I was on the internet. And I tend to, like, if you look at the dates of when I've joined stuff, I tend to be a little bit ahead of the curve as far as normal people when they would like sign up and have a account. I tend to be on the leading edge of stuff. So I joined up, and initially it was just my friends, my family, and then it started getting to be like people that I went to school with, and that's where it starts getting to be, you know, if you've got more than like, really, if you've got more than like 50, if you've got like 250 Facebook friends, you need to get rid of like at least 100 of those. At least. I mean, let's be honest. How many of those people have anything in common with you? Like for me, the realization was that I was constantly posting about stuff that I garbage picked or got from Goodwill, or I would order components from China, eBay, and build stuff because I can't afford to shop at Walmart. And then other people were taking pictures of their luxury island getaway vacation suite, and then the plate with the little tiny food with the sauce on it. Like, unfriended, you know, like we got nothing in common. You know, you said yes, and then you looked at my thing, you looked at what my wife to see if she's pretty, and then you saw a couple of things and you said unfollow, and you've never been back. So those are the type of people that I'm talking about. And when you get rid of those people, man, trust me, it feels really good to thin the herd. Now I always bring this up, in 2016, I got really sick. I had these panic attacks, and I was like at the end of my rope. It was horrible. I couldn't eat and I couldn't sleep. I was up for 5 days at a crack, and I just felt like I had been drugged by like LSD and PCP, with like coming down off of a big crack binge too. It was really powerful and really horrible. And I never got a break from it, so it drove me completely mad, and I was like at the end of my rope, and I was like, I was talking about it, and you know, I was always like saying, you know, whatever was up. I tend to be very candid on my Facebook, and if I got a toothache or if my gout flare up in my knee, I would talk about that. So people were probably really sick of me, but at one point I was reaching out to people via PM, like, can you call me? I need somebody to talk to. Like, I'm at the end of my rope. And nobody called. Everyone ignored it. And these are people that I considered like close friends. So that really, really hurt. And then I started thinking about that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do an experiment. So I put up yeah, I'm sorry, I've been complaining about my health. I have these little problems and they're really exaggerated, and I've been such a baby, and going on and on about myself when there's so many other people in the world that have real problems. And that got like 18 thumbs up, including one guy who insisted, he cornered me into building him two pedals. Now, he knew that I wasn't working, made me ship these like 4 states over. Two pedals, and he paid me $30. Now, this is coming out of my wife's salary. $30 for 2 pedals. And he never thanked me. So I demanded that he pay me another $30. I'm like, dude, you know, I paid the shipping and like all of the parts and getting the stuff here, the chassis, like I didn't even break even on this at all. Like, you need to pay me to do this. Like, besides the 30 would be another 30 for labor and then the 10 for shipping. You know, that's one pedal. So, you know, like 150 and we're square. But yeah, that guy thumbed it up, and I unfriended everybody that thumbed that up except for him because I respected the guy, and then I ended up really losing respect for him because he kept kind of picking on me. He kept acting like I was like under him on Facebook. He would always leave these comments, and I just got fed up with it. You know, I'm not a little kid anymore. I'm an adult. I'm in my 50s. I'm doing this music thing, and it's good. I know what I'm doing. I don't, you know. Basically, at that point, I went back and looked at anyone who had ever liked anything that I like made or any of the stuff I put out there. If they liked it, they got a pass. They got to stay. And anybody who had ignored everything that I did and never liked anything, they all got kicked out. I kicked them all out. So at this point, that's where I'm at, is I don't have any one-way street relationships in my life. Meaning, let's say I'm constantly coming over to your house and you never come to mine, well, we're not friends anymore. Because unless it's one of these situations where your house is messy and you don't ever have anybody over, if it's like, you know, there's exceptions to the rule, but I'm not going to have any friendships that are, they got to be two-way street, give and take. And that may sound selfish, but I just don't have time for it. So what that means for me is the people that I do have on my Facebook, I need to go to their pages regularly and comment on their lives. Or if you're my YouTube, if you're supporting me and my work on YouTube, which means you're liking my stuff or you're commenting, I need to try to do the same. So that's my message for today. If you've got a Facebook or a YouTube, you can go through there and trim some of the fat, and you'll feel really a lot better about it. And here's how you can tell you made a mistake. They'll come back and send you a friend request. They'll be like, hey, we're not, what the fuck, we're not friends anymore, what happened? And you just go, oh, I don't know, we're friends now, and leave it at that. So I saw something today on a Facebook wall, and I want to read it. It made sense to me as we're going through this information today. If someone is constantly telling you what you need to do to get better at what you're already pretty good at, you need to get out from under that. If you never asked for their help and all you did was try and build them up, and they could never be bothered to thank you or tell you they appreciated that or return the favor, you need to get out of that relationship. Now, this is a trick I see oftentimes. There'll be two people. Let's say the one guy has 1 million views and 2,000 subs, and the other guy has 10,000 views and 400 subs. The 400 sub guy will go to the 1 million view guy's channel and go, you should use this guitar pedal, or try this software. And what that guy's doing, he's trying to get other people to come and go to his channel. They're calling, come to my channel. so I can pile up that AdSense dollars and afford that pornography subscription I've been lusting after. And that's just a dirty trick that and I got to tell you, I caught myself doing that. I used to be always the expert, trying to tell people, trying to solve problems for people that they didn't ask me for help. So it's one thing to be a know-it-all or to be successful and good at what you do. It's another thing to come off like a prick, like a know-it-all. So I had to really rein myself in on that, because when people did it on my channel, I took offense to it. Now, keep in mind, this is only when it's out of whack. If it's the other way around, if you've got some guy who's a master, Jedi master, coming to your little channel and you really don't know what you're doing, and you've never heard of what the guy is turning you on to, that's another story. But if it's, this little guy down here is trying to tell you something you've been aware of for many years, that's just an embarrassment. So, trust me, I've done this and I've caught myself doing it, and I backspace now and I don't do that. And if you're in that position and you're going to try that, there's other ways you can get people, attract them to come to your channel besides coming out and saying, hey, we do the same thing. It's one thing to be nice. It's another thing that if you're being nice with strings attached. So here's to us being responsible in our social media lives, and that goes both ways. It goes trimming the fat, getting rid of people that you never should have accepted their friendship in the first place. Because how I do it is, when I get a request, I see how do I know them, and then that'll tell you a lot right there. And then I look at their page, and if it's let's say it's all anti-Trump stuff or pro-Trump, I'm not going to click that person, because I don't ever do any of that political stuff on my page. We don't have anything in common. Let's say there's a Trump thing, but then there's a guitar pedal thing, and then an amp, something about a custom, another guitar thing. There's a good chance I might let that guy in and just deal with his political leanings and take the good with the bad. But I just can't do this one-way street relationship thing anymore. And it's affected a lot of relationships in my life. There are people that were just take, manipulate, lie to you. And never once would they ever give anything back. They would never once. I'm here thumbing your stuff up, telling you how great you are, and then you're just going to pretend that my stuff sucks. Even though, I got news for you. Guess who's doing the sucking? So, audit your relationships. Take a look at what's going on. If you've got a YouTube, if you've got a Facebook, and there's people that are loyal and they're cool and they're supporting you in what you do, pop over there and give them a little love back. Make sure that you do that on a semi-regular basis. And even if you're just popping in and leaving rush comments on a few videos, that's better than nothing. They're gonna respond, and that's gonna make their day. If you can actually absorb the content and leave some relevant comments and have a bit of a back and forth, because you know what? The reason that people are there and they have your back is because you guys really have a lot in common. And that's precious. If you meet someone that has a lot in common with you, you never want to be putting yourself above. Never. No. This is when we have to really be humble. Really be humble, because you don't know all you can learn from that person. This person's like a clone of you. You could learn so much, not of just what to do, of what not to do as well. So audit your Facebook friend list and take a look at your YouTube, see who's commenting, and give some of that love back. If some of these people that, if you're doing the similar game, you're doing the similar thing, you know, you're going to want to go and give them some love, which means if you're doing video game reviews, you watch his video game review, you thumb it up and you share it. You say, hey, this guy does the same thing that I do. Because you know what? There's always room for more. It's not the selfish thing. We can cross-promote each other, thumb each other up, and like each other's stuff. And that's what we should be doing. More often than not, I think it ends up being point and giggle and laugh and take the fear-based route, the selfish way. But like I said, I'm getting older, and I'm just trying, really trying to become a better person, and I'm trying to live a less stressful life. So if you're one of these people that I had to cut out of my life because I felt it was a one-way street relationship, you can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at me. Especially if I was there building you up and building you up and building you up and building you up and building you up, and you never really said anything nice about me. You know, you got to be honest with yourself. If somebody cuts you out of their life and says, I felt this was a one-way relationship, that I was giving and you were taking and you never once gave back, how are you going to put yourself in a position to try to get revenge back on that guy because they said that you hurt them? Because I know that's the natural reaction of people to do is, you don't like it? Well, fuck you. I'm going to come and, you know, piss in your Cheerios. Well, I got news for you. You know, your Cheerios, if there's a prize in them, it's going to be the Shuby prize. All right, you guys, I wasted enough time talking about this. This is all basic common knowledge, human decency and respect, but really our society's kind of gotten so far out of whack with this social media thing. It was so much better when we just had telephones. It really was. This is not good. The whole thumb up and thumb down thing, they never should have done that. They never, ever, ever should have done that. It makes it a thing, you know. It should be just, you look at it, and if you like it, you say, hey, honey, check this out. But you don't get to click on it. No. That puts the power in the hands of the many. The people that aren't creating anything or adding anything to it. That creates the possibility of abuse. And I just can't be in abusive relationships anymore. So if I cut you loose, you've got some soul searching to do because you lost a good friend. I'm not great, but I'm a good guy. I'm working on getting better. All right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you soon. I'll be showing up at your channel making all kinds of stupid comments, trying to be funny. So expect me. Peace.